We have a lot of people around the office who wear those fitness trackers, and you'll see a lot of them up and at it trying to get those steps in, and for pretty good reason. Cardiovascular activity is a great way to keep your ticker in tip-top shape. So if you're like one of the many people who are trying to walk their way to better health, then you want to pay very close attention to what our next guest has to say. We'd like to introduce to you Neil Holzman. He's the chairman of the American Heart Association Southern Delaware Heart Walk. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here, and thank you to Delmarva Life for helping us to get the word out.
Hey, absolutely. It's what we do. So cardiovascular disease is the #1 cause of death in this country. That's true?
It is, and actually 1 in 3 deaths in the U.S. are as a result of either a heart attack or a stroke. And the interesting thing is over 70% of people think that they're not at risk for any of these activities. So the Heart Association and the American Stroke Association, which are affiliated together,
right,
their goal is to get awareness and create a situation where research and awareness comes together and they can reduce the overall impact of heart disease.
Okay, so they both work to prevent and fund research. How would they go about starting that?
Well, they do, and in particular, we're talking about the American Heart Association Delaware, and they raise money in the state, and they actually, in southeastern Pennsylvania and Delmarva, keep that research money in the area. And last year, I believe there was about $14 million of grants that were kept locally for this research. And in addition, they do a lot for wellness. They had over 200,000 trainings for CPR.
No kidding.
And that's a huge number if you think about it.
Yeah, for sure.
So wellness, research, all comes together, and the idea being to reduce the heart attack.
Okay, so with wellness, research all coming together, do you think that we're making strides in the right direction as the generations keep moving forward?
Well, I'm not an expert, but I'd have to say
sure
that yes, they're making some progress. The goal of the American Heart Association is by 2020 to reduce heart incidents by 20%. That's pretty significant number to try to reach.
Right, so but the association can't do it alone, right?
They can't. They need everybody's individual effort, and part of that effort is our own individual awareness of what heart attack and stroke is, and then doing something individually ourselves to reduce our own risk. And that's what the heart walks are about. Okay,
and a heart walk makes sense because, as we said, walking is obviously good for your heart.
It's good for your heart and more. I mean, it's a social event. It's a way to relax. It's a good way to get out and think, and lots of choices.
So what goes on at these events?
We have they start at 8 in the morning for registration. We have a 20 or so tents set up with educational things going on, entertainment things. If you have your family there, the kids will find some things to do. And then at 9 o'clock, we actually have the walk itself, and each one of them are 3 miles. You can walk, you can run. We have teams that come together, mostly in a corporate environment, but individuals can come out and walk. You can bring your family out. There are over 20 corporate sponsors that are also part of the event as well.
You said that you can run, so the people with the super awesome hearts, they can just continue to run right past people like me.
It tends to be mostly walkers,
okay,
but some of us walk fast as well.
They also have kids obstacle courses. They have the survivor tent. What is a survivor tent?
I think that's a place to go and actually register and talk about what may have happened to you individually. And we do actually, when we do the opening event, we have each year at each event someone talk about their own experience with survival. Last year we had a cardiologist who had a heart attack, and he talked about all the things that when he was having his heart attack that he did wrong, and he's supposed to know all the things.
Right, he's the expert.
He had someone drive him to the hospital instead of going and calling 911 and getting an ambulance there.
So this walk means a lot, especially to the people who have suffered from heart issues in the past.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's go over some event details. It's Saturday, October 14th at Delaware Technical Community College in Dover, and also Saturday, October 21st, again, at Delaware Technical Community College.
Correct, and last year we had over 3,300 participants. We hope to meet or exceed that this year, and we invite everybody out to it.
And of course, WBOC is a proud sponsor. Neil, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate having you.